So we're finally beginning with the calculus part ng Math 83. So this is the first part that we're going to discuss. So limit of a function and limit theorems. Now if you remember, ang una nating inaral ng mga functions, yung mga um, polynomial, rational, radical, yung mga yon. So, sila muna yung magiging prototype natin ng mga functions ngayon when we study limits of a function. Next time na natin baka mamaya may dadaanan na rin natin yung mga limit ng mga piecewise functions, absolute value functions, and so on. Okay? So, dahan-dahan nating i-build up din natin yung mga limit ng bawat functions na na-encounter natin this past few weeks. Okay, so to begin, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng limit of a function? So, given a function f of x and a real number a, what is the value of f at x near a but not necessarily equal to a? So medyo iba na yung flavor nito. Kasi dati, nung algebra lang, given a function f and a real number a, what is the value of f at a? Yan dati, nung algebra lang. So, ang hinahanap, f of a. Pero ngayon, hinahanap na yung value ng f of, sabihin natin, ito ay a sub 0. F of a sub 0, hinahanap niya saan equal ito. Tapos, ang relationship ni A sub 0, malapit siya kay A. So, kumbaga, may number line ka, nandito si A sub 0, nandito si A. Tapos, ano yung value ni... May function ka, tapos, ayan. Ito yung f of A sub 0. Ito naman yung value ni f of A. So, kung malapit yung value ni A sub 0 kay A, gano'n naman kalapit yung value ni A sub 0 sorry, again, malapit si A sub 0 kay A, gano'n naman kalapit si f of A sub 0 kay f of A. So, hinahanap natin yung stickiness ng ano naman, ng mga values na may value sa x-axis, may value sa y-axis. So, dati, nung algebra, isang number lang ang tinitignan natin. Pero this time, baka isipin niyo dalawang numbers lang yung tinitignan. Hindi dalawang numbers. Itong a sub 0, random number lang yan. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng marami yan. A sub 0, A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub pi, A sub square root of 2, ang dami. So, pwedeng infinite number of points ang tinitignan natin. Okay? So, let's consider the following illustration. Consider f of x equal to 3x minus 1. Yun yung function natin. Okay? So, what can we say about the values of f for values of x near 1 but not necessarily equal to 1? So, pipili tayo ng mga, ang first step, pipili tayo ng mga numbers na malapit kay 1. Tapos, hahanapin natin yung image nila under f. So, let's start with, say, 0. So, pag 0, kasi malapit ang 0 kay 1, okay? F of 0, 3 times 0 minus 1, that would be negative 1. Now, so ito si 1, ito si 0, so palapitin pa natin, 0.5. Pag 0.5, ano ang value? 3 times 0.5 minus 1, that would be 1.5 minus 1, or that would be 0.5. Okay. Lapit pa tayo. Ito, 0.9. Ito, 0.9. Pag 0.9 naman, 3 times 0.9, that would be 7, 7, 0, 2.7 minus 1, that would be 1.7. Okay. 1.7 ang value ni 0.9. And then I'll leave it to you as an exercise. Paano na kapag, ito na yung 0.9, no? Paano na kapag 0.99? Okay, ang value niya 1.97. E paano yung value ng 0.99999? Ang value niya sa 3 times 0.99999 minus 1, lalabas 1.99997. So, dito may trend. Ito yung 1, ito yung 0. Habang lumalapit sila dito kay 1, yung mga values, yung mga f value nila or y values pumupunta sa 2. Similarly, pwede natin tingnan sa point of view dito. Ito yung number 2 malapit din sa 1. If I plug into 3 times 2 minus 1, that would be 5. How about 1.5? Ito ang 2 eh. The 1, ito ang 1.5. So pag 1.5, 3 times 1.5 minus 1, this would be 4.5 minus 1, or this would be 3.5. Pag 1.1 naman, 3 times 1.1 minus 1, this would be 3.3 minus 1, this would be 2.3. Okay, so ito yung 1. Ay, sorry, ito yung 1, ito yung 2, ito yung 1.5, ito yung 1.1, ito yung 1, ito na yung next number, 1.001. So if you plug in 1.001, you will get here 2.003. And finally, 1.00001, pag plug in dito, you will get 2.0003. Okay? So again, kapag tinignan mo naman sa point of view ng mga numbers na nandito na malapit kay 1, ang y value nila pupunta rin sa 2. So, based on the table, as x gets closer and closer to 1, okay, pamaya, ano natin, i, ano natin, um, what do you call this one? I-define natin, ano ibig sabihin itong gets closer and closer? Ano difference sa x is equal to 1 versus x gets closer and closer to 1? May difference siya dito sa equal sign. Okay. So, as x gets closer and closer to 1, f of x gets closer and closer to 2. Okay? So, dito, isipin niyo dito pag x ay equal to 1, ano ang f of 1? F of 1 is 3 times 1 minus 1. We get 2. So parang inisip nyo, bakit hindi na lang ginawa yan? Itong ginagawang to, algebra ito. Okay? Ang calculus, we are now taking numbers close to 1. Not necessarily 1. Pero mga numbers na malapit kay 1. Pero, we will show a theorem later on na may relationship yung dalawang ideas na yun. Yung sa algebra na nagpa-plug in ka lang, sorry, 1 pala, at yung mga nagtitake ka nitong mga infinitesimal values. Okay? May relationship yung dalawang yun. Next. So, ito yung first illustration natin. Second illustration, better yet, graph muna natin. Ito ang graph ng 3x minus 1. So, you will see here na ito yung 0.5. Ang image ng 0.5, 0.5. Tapos, ito ang 0.9. Ang image ng 0.9, 1.7. Let's zoom in more. Ito ang 0.99. Ang image niya ay 1.97. So as we get closer and closer to 1, yung mga values lumalapit kay 2. Similarly, ganun din yung sa kabila. Habang lumalapit tayo kay 1 in this direction, lumalapit yung values naman natin papunta ka. Okay? So, etong direction na to, ito yung direction, ito yung y direction na binibigay niya. Tapos itong direction na to, ito yung y direction na binibigay niya. Okay? So that's the first illustration. Now let's look at the next illustration. How about, let's consider 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 over x minus 1. So this is a rational function. And ano pinag-usapan natin ng last time, kapag may function ka, ang unang gagawin, hanapin ng domain. Ang domain natin dito ay set of all, domain of G, Set of all real numbers except positive 1. So bawal ang positive 1. Now, if we ask, pag tinanong na i-graph natin ito, okay? Pag graph natin ito, well, rational ito, isa pala yung technique na alam natin kung paano mag-graph ng rational function. It is yung i-convert natin into a polynomial kung kaya. Well, apparently kaya naman kasi yung numerator natin pwedeng i-decompose or i-factor into 3x minus 1 times x minus 1. With that, pwede i-cancel natin to kasi total naman, tatanggalin natin yung sa domain. X is not equal to 1. So we arrive at 3x minus 1. Okay? So kumbaga, ito yung g of x. You can call this a new function, h of x, if you want. Pero pwede rin natin i-adopt ito, pero ilalagyan mo nitong condition that x is not equal to 1. Okay. Now, with that in mind, i-graph natin ulit yung 3x minus 1. Ang graph ng 3x minus 1, magkamukha lang sila. Ito yun. Ang x-intercept, ang x-intercept nito, 3 times x minus 1 is equal to 0 or 3x equal to 1, x equal to 1/3. Yun. And then ang y-intercept naman natin, 3 times 0 minus 1 is equal to y is equal to negative 1. And there's your 9. However, we have to keep in mind the bawal ang 1. So ano yung bawal ang 1? So ang value ng 1 dito, ipa-plug din natin. 3 times 1 minus 1, we get 2. But ang difference niya sa previous example, dito, 1, ang image ni 1, 3 minus is equal to 2. May value siya, 2 talaga. Pero dito, yung 1, 2, hollow siya. Okay? Kasi hindi ka nga pwede mag-plug ng 1. Kumbaga, we are just doing so para makita natin yung itsura ng graph. So dito hollow. Okay, so ano nga yung gagawin natin? Ang gagawin natin this time, ganun din. So we pick values closer, very close to 1. O nga pala, pag sinabing very close, bigyan ko kayo ng idea. Geometrically, pag sinabing very close, ito usually yung very close. Meron kang, may interval ka, tapos, ang, let's use the word radius or diameter. Ang diameter niya 2 or radius niya 1. Okay? We will discuss it. So, bakit yun yung idea din ng close. Kung kaya mo pang paliitin, kasi di ba, pag ito, pwede rin to. Kaso, ang layo mo na. Kumbaga hindi na kayo close masyado. Ito, ano pa nga yan eh, medyo malaki pa rin yan. Ito talaga yung close. Yun yung close talaga. Ayan. Close talaga kayo doon. Okay? Pero usually, ang radius natin, parang unit circle, unit radius. Ang haba nito, 0 to 1, 1. So usually we take the unit radius first. Yun yung ina-analyze muna natin, the unit radius. So, gamitin natin yung unit radius na yon. If you choose value, say 1.5, you can plug in 1.5 here, g of 1.5, pero okay lang din, ma-solve ka, or i-plug in mo na lang dito. 3 times 1.5 minus 1, we get 4.5 minus 1. That would be 3.5. Okay? Ay, sorry, 0.5 pala. 0.5. 0.5 pala to. 3 times 0.5, that would be 1.5 minus 1. That would be 0.5. 0.5. So we get the same pattern. Kapag lumalapit ka sa 1 in this direction, yung mga values natin, pag ganito yung lapit nila sa 2. Pag lumalapit ka naman sa 1 galing in this direction, yung mga y values naman niya, lumalapit in this direction. So in both cases, you're approaching from this direction or in this direction, the value goes to 2. Even though may hollow point tayo. Okay? So, it does, ito yun na yun, yung sa algebra, walang sense ito. Okay? Walang sense. Kasi hollow ito. Okay? Pero, yung mga numbers na malapit sa kanya, may value. Parang dito, yung mga numbers na malapit sa kanya, sa 1, may mga y value. We don't care about the actual value. Yun yung algebra, the actual value. We're looking at the values we're looking at the functional values ng mga numbers a sub 0 na malapit kay 1. Okay? So, yun lang. Tinitingnan natin to. Okay, so remember this, ito yung mga iba't iba nating scenario. Ha? The first one, walang butas. Okay? Second one, daanan ng DPWH, may butas. Okay? Tapos, ito pa isa pang case natin. Yung may butas pa, tapos nailagay sa iba yung project. Okay? So, parang ganyan. So, may piecewise function tayo. So, let's consider here h of x is equal to 3x minus 1 if x is not equal to 1 and 0 if x is equal to 1. Okay, graph natin. Pag graph natin ito, ang graph niya sa 3x minus 1, you get the same line. Tapos, kapag ang x mo ay equal sa 1, tingnan mo rin yung image. 3 times 1 minus 1, you get 2. So, sa 1, 2, hollow siya. Tapos, ang image talaga ni 1, that would be 0. 1, 0. Ito yon. Okay. So, ganun ulit. If we choose a number, say h of 0.5, ang 0.5 ay, dahil 0.5 falls under this category, 3 times 0.5 minus 1, you get 1.5 minus 1, you get 0.5. So, ito yung 0.5. Ito ulit yung image na 0.5. How about h of, ano ba natin? H of 1.5 is equal to 3 times 1.5 minus 1, you get 4.5 minus 1, you get, ano nangyayari? Nawawala na 1.5. Ito yung 1.5, ang image niya, 4.5. So, kung ang hunch ninyo, ganun ulit, lumalapit kayo sa 1 in this direction, lumalapit yung mga y value nila sa 2. Pag sa ganitong direction naman, yung y value lumalapit naman sa 2. Pero, ang GH of 1 natin, hindi 2. Okay? The value is 0. Okay? But we actually don't care about that. So, we care about the numbers close to 1, but not actually 1. So, so parang sinasabi, itong tatlong graphs na to, this piecewise, ano pa, bakit wala ink. Tira. Okay. Ang sinasabi ito, this piecewise, nangyayari. This piecewise, rational, polynomial, although there are different algebraic functions, magkakaiba sila algebraically, sa mata ng calculus, parang pare-pareho lang sila as x gets closer and closer to 1. Okay? Kumbaga pare-pareho lang sila. So, bigyan natin ng intuitive notion ng polynomial. Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng rigorous definition ng limit soon. So, ano ang intuitive notion ng limit? Suppose A is a real number and L is also a real number. So, yung A dito, ito yung galing sa not necessarily nasa domain. Okay, yun ha. Ito yung nakita natin dito. Not necessarily nasa domain. Basta it's just a random number. And a random number, and L is also a random number, not necessarily in the range. Now, let's talk about the actual function. A function defined on some open interval containing A. Ito na yung sasabi natin na closer, very close to A. We now give it some mathematical flavor. May open interval ka containing A. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng close to A. Open interval containing A. Ano mga halimbawa ng open interval na alam natin? Okay. Ay, ano ba yan? Sorry. Sige. Okay. Ay, wait. Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. So, um, some open interval containing A. So, halimbawa mga open interval, yung nakita natin, 0, 2. Ito yung open interval containing 1. Ano pa ba? Halimbawa, 1, 3. This will be an interval containing 2. Who else? Negative 1 to 1. This would be an interval containing 0. So, that would be an open interval containing a number A, except possibly F. So, the limit of F, ito yung ano ha, yung mga basa. The limit of F as X approaches A is L. So, dapat natin dito. The limit of F is L as X approaches A if the value of F get closer and closer to L as X gets closer and closer to A but not necessarily equal to A. Ayun yung mga iba't ibang basa dito. So, binasa ko na siya sa iba't ibang way. So, dito assumes values getting closer and closer to A but not reaching A but not equal to A. Para-pareho lang yan. Pero ang sinasabi lang yan, si A ay nasa isang interval. Say, A sub 0 to A sub 1. Yan, may interval ka na element siya doon. Okay? So in that notation, we use this, ito yung calculus notation na usually ito yung ginagamit natin sa algebra. F of A is equal to a number. Okay? Pero sa calculus, the limit of F as X approaches A is equal to L. Okay? The limit of F as X approaches A is L. Sinasabi lang nito, um, kumukuha tayo ng infinite number of infinite na amount of points or infinite number of numbers, infinite number of real numbers, ang pangit sabihin nun, maraming real numbers, okay, a sub 0, a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub pi, 5, na mga yan, na malapit kay A, tapos, kumbaga, pina-plug in mo isa-isa yung mga values nila dito. F of A sub 0, F of A sub 1, F of A sub 2, F of A sub pi. Okay? Tapos, eventually, makikita mo, may pattern ka na palapit sila ng palapit sa certain number. Yan nakita natin kanina. So, pag tingnan natin yung mga example natin dito, limit of 3x minus 1 is equal to 2 as x approaches 1. So, inobserve natin yung mga numbers in this direction and in this direction, and we found out that the limit of 3x minus 1 as x approaches 1 is equal to 2. Okay? Papunta sila sa 2. And in this particular scenario, etong calculus value natin, which is 2, is equal to the algebraic value, which is 2 rin. F of 2 is, ano F of 2, ay F of 1 is 2. Nagkataon na pareho yung value nila. Ito yung calculus, ito yung algebra. And uh, we will give a relationship about these two ideas later on. Pero for now, nagkataon muna na equal sila. Pero dito tayo mas um, interesado, hindi dito. Okay? Sa second example, yung g of x, we also found out that the limit of 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 over x minus 1, although na-solve natin kanina ng x, ano to na 3x minus 1, pero may x is equal to 1 ka dito na kabila. Huwag mo papalitan ito by this 1 here, okay? Do not replace this by 3x minus 1. For now, later on may gagawin tayong mga magic tricks. Pero for now, huwag mo muna palitan. Nakita natin na it's also equal to 2. Pero, so, the limit of g exists, okay? Ibig sabihin ng exists plus may value. Pero, ang g of 1 ay hindi equal sa 2. In fact, undefined yun. Okay? G of 1 is undefined. Okay. Now, sabihin na naman ninyo, oh my gosh, bakit ano ibig sabihin ng defined exists? O ganito lang yan. In some sense, pareho lang yung term na yan. Ito for example, f of 1, anong f of 1? That would be 2. So, ibig sabihin, f of 1 is defined. In a similar sense, limit of f of x as x approaches 1 is equal to 2. Dahil may value, limit exists. Okay. Ganito lang yan. Pag calculus, exist ang ginagamit. Pag algebra, defined ang ginagamit. Yun lang yun. Yun. May mga may mga iba dudulas f of 1 exists. Siguro for now, sige, hindi mo na ako nagiging lenient muna. Parang napagpapalit lang yung dalawang term na yun, exist, defined. Pero ma, kung if you're going to be strict about yung mga adjectives na ginagamit, defined pang algebra, exist pang calculus. Pero in some sense, pareho lang sila ng sinasabi. Okay? Okay. So, may example daw dito. About linear example, how come wala rin po siyang goal if it never approaches 2? Aling linear? Etong 3x may... kasi, ayun, very good question. So, yung 3x minus 1, igagraph talaga natin ito as is. Okay? So, kasi baka isipin ninyo, so pag nag-graph ba tayo, algebraic ba yun o calculus? Of course, the concept of graphing falls under the category of algebraic idea. Gagraph mo lang siya. So, i-graph mo siya as is in an algebraic sense. Ayun yun. I-graph mo lang siya in algebraic sense. You don't care. I-graph mo lang siya ng tuloy-tuloy kasi may image dito si 1. 3 times 1 at 3 times 1 minus 1 is equal to 2. Meron, bakit mawala ang ink natin? Okay. Meron talaga siyang image. I-graph mo talaga siya. Pero, so ito yung graphical or geometric, may geometric ano tayo, point of view, meron tayong computational point of view. Tapos sa computational point of view, may dalawang scenario, calculus point of view or algebraic point of view. Ito yung graphical point of view. Sa graphical, ito-graph mo lang talaga siya. You don't care kung calculus ba siya or algebra. Just graph it as it is. So, sa one, may image talaga siya too. Tapos dito, whole talaga siya. Kasi ang graph nito, or you can express this as 3x minus 1. Pero may condition na x is not equal to 1 kasi may domain tayo. Ang domain, di ba yun yung ginawa natin ng first part? May function, we look for the domain. After we look for the domain, we graph it. Tapos hindi natin pinag-usapan yung calculus. So, kumbaga, build up na natin yung knowledge natin. So, we start with this first part of our knowledge. So, may function tayo, may domain, may graph tayo. Okay? Okay. So, dito na okay, yun yun. Then dito na papasok yung next ideas natin, which is the calculus idea. And ano ang relationship ng calculus doon sa graph? Tapos ano rin yung relationship ng algebra doon sa graph? Algebraically speaking, G of 1 is undefined. Dito, F of 1 is defined. Okay? Is defined. Yun yung difference nila. Dito, undefined. Okay, tingnan natin yung dalawang example F of 1, defined, G of 1, undefined. However, limit here exists, limit here does not exist. Ay, sorry, limit here also exists. Niloko dun also exists. So, pwede yung ganong case, class. Yung calculus, nag-exist siya, pero yung algebra niya, undefined. Pwede yon. Dito, calculus exists or limit exists, algebra defined. Pwedeng tandem yung dalawang exist defined, exist, undefined. So at least may alam kayo geometrically ano ibig sabihin. Ganun yung gusto ko gawin yung sa inyo. Kapag sinabi na pwede ba mayon exist and define, you can appeal to your geometric sense para Pwede yun. Exist undefined, ganito yung possible na itsura. Exist undefined, ito yung possible na itsura. In fact, may isa pa. Exist, defined, pero hindi equal. Ayan pa, idadagdag pa natin yung pangatlo. So parang may sisingit na pangatlong ganito, no? Equal, does not equal. Ano naman yon? Ito, yun yung kanina yung piecewise function. Ito yung graph ng piecewise function. The limit exists. H of 1 is defined. Bakit ay sumul talaga? Defined, pero napansin niyo, hindi sila equal. So may pangatlong symbol tayo na sinama, equality. Okay? Okay. O, dito nga pala, kung nag exist to, ito undefined, automatic, not equal. Okay? Not equal na yan. Dito, defined, exist, pero not equal. Ito yung ganitong possible na itsura niya. Piecewise function ang meron tayo. Okay? So remember these cases. Exist, equality, defined. Tapos paglalaroan mo lang, not exist, not equal, not defined. Lalagyan mo lang ng negation. Okay? Kung not lahat. Okay? So, of course, the next question is, intuitively, may idea ka na ng limits. May graph, may calculus computation, may algebraic computation. May question muna dito. Dahil may function nga tayo, tama yan. May function tayo, ano ang domain ng function natin? Very good question. Okay, ano ang domain ng H class? Ang domain ng H, it would be, tingnan nyo muna to. Yung domain, di ba pag piecewise, ano yung naging ano nangyayari? 3x minus 1. Pag piecewise class, hindi intersection ha, union. Dito lang nag-union. Most of the time, kapag domain tayo, intersection talaga kadalasan. Yun yung ano. Pero pag piecewise, kasi ang piecewise, it's just a function that you separate into its component parts. So, kumbaga, pagkasama-samahin mo lang ulit yung mga subdomains natin. Pero, kapag yung mga, ano ang domain ni f of x plus or minus g of x, dapat kung ano yung pwede mo lang i-substitute kay f, yun na yung pwede mo i-substitute kay g. Dito lalabas yung domain of f, intersection domain of g. Most of the time, intersection. Pero pag piecewise, isang function lang kasi tayo dito. I-union mo tong mga to. So, domain of 3x minus 1, ano ang domain nito? All real except 1. Okay. Si 1 hindi mo pwede i-plug in dito. Union, domain ni 0. Ano ba ang domain ni 0? X is equal to 1. The set containing 1. So, ito yung R not equal to 1. So, pag drinowing mo yan, ito yung number line na yan. R is not equal to 1. Ito naman yung set containing 1. And then, union. Ano makukuha natin lahat? Ito lang naman yung problematic, itong gitnang to eh. Ito shaded, ito hollow. Pero dahil union ang tinutukoy natin, kukunin mo itong lahat. So, the domain would be the set of all real numbers. Okay? Dito, ibang domain niya, no? Real numbers except 1. Pero dito sa piecewise na to, all real numbers. All, parang ang clunky na parang, ay, what? So, ganun talaga, pag nagsama-sama na yung mga concepts, function, domain, graph, calculus, algebra, parang overwhelming. Okay, so um, you'll get this, kumbaga ngayon muna, dahil nagka-calculus part na tayo, okay muna ito na, yung susunod na natin mga slides, okay muna kahit makalimutan muna natin yung concept ng domain, pati ng graph. Later on, okay muna kahit pakalimutan yon. Kasi kumbaga, magfo-focus muna tayo sa dalawang ito. Tapos, later on, pagkasama-samahin natin sila ulit. Okay? Para for now, Kasi baka na-overwhelm kayo sa sobrang dami ng topics. We'll now focus on this part here first. Tapos, sama-samayan natin sila. Okay. So, meron tayong function, domain, graph, may limits. Now, um, hinanap natin yung mga limits na ito. Ito, yung limit ng function natin. Graphically speaking. Syempre, magko-compute na tayo eh. Computational na. Computationally speaking, hindi efficient yon na tuwing maghahanap ka ng limit, like ka bang mag-graph? Eh, paano pag yung function mo mahirap na i-graph? Halimbawa, meron ka ng 2x squared plus 1 over x minus 1. Ito, wala ka na maka-cancel dito at dito. Paano mo siya i-graph? Parang hindi efficient lagi mag-graph para mahanap ang limits. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look for methods on how to solve for limits without graphing. Okay. So, paano tayo maghahanap ng limits without graphing? Kasi sabi ko, sige, kalimutan niyo muna mag-graphing. Later on natin pagkasama-samahin ulit yung concepts. So, we forget first about the graphing part. We'll solve this computationally. And to do that, we have to remember again yung mga different types of functions na na-encounter natin. Okay? Sabi ko lang naman, ang kalimutan niyo yung graph eh. Hindi wag niyo kalimutan yung actual function. So, we'll go back to the different families of functions that we encounter. Polynomial, rational, radical. Alin yun muna yung mga first ano natin. Then we go to piecewise again. Okay? So, ano ang first example natin dito? May remark mo. So, bago na-excite ako agad, before we go to those computational aspects, ito yung nakita nating observation regarding algebra and calculus. In finding limit of f of x as x approaches a, we need only values. We only need to consider values of x very close to a, but not equal to a. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Limit of f of x as x approaches a is not necessarily equal to f of a. Kasi si f of a nga, pwede maging defined, pwede maging undefined. Ang pangsulat ko. Ito pwede mag-exist, ito pwede mag-not exist. Tapos dito pwede mag-equal, pwede mag-not equal. So may mga not necessarily the same. Okay? Okay. Ang dami pa palang functions. Okay. Na-excite lang ako. Okay, ito na kasi limit theorems din. Ayan na. So, let's look at another example before we do one more we do one yung computational aspect na talaga. So, dito babalikan din natin to soon itong heaviside function na to. Kamukha niya yung signum function, no? Kamukha niya yung signum function, pero dito we will look at this ang gagawin natin, i-observe natin, yung gagawin natin ulit yung graphical method of finding the limit. Okay, so graphical method of finding the limit, halimbawa ito, ano ang limit ni x as limit ni h? Basically, ang h of x muna ay equals to 1 kapag yung mga values ng x greater than or equal to 0. And 0 if x is less than 0. So graphically speaking, kapag negative numbers, ang image nila 0. So pag andito ang negative 1, ang image ng negative 1, 0. Image ng negative 2, 0. Okay, ito yon. Tapos, ano ang image ng 0? 0, 0. Dito, hollow. Dito naman, kapag 0, ang image niya 1. So, point talaga yon. Ang image niya ng 1, 1 din. 2, 1. So, we get this piecewise function. So, i-observe natin yung limit habang lumalapit tayo sa 0. So, i-take natin itong unit interval na ito. Yun yung unit interval ulit natin. Negative 1 to 1. Okay, unit interval. So, Pag inobserve natin dito, okay, saan lumalapit yung mga values natin? So, kunyari, h of -1, ano ang value? 0. H of -0.9, 0 din. H of -0.5, 0. H of -0.1, 0. So lumalapit tayo sa 0. Notice, 0 ang pinupuntahan natin. Okay? Dito tayo pumupunta. Ito yung mga values kasi nila. 0. Now, let's look at this part here. Paano naman ang H of 1? H of 1, 1. H of 1 point, H of 0.5, 1 din. H of 0.2, 1 din. H of 0.1, 1 rin. So, sa direction naman na ito, ang nakukuha mo mga numbers, 1. So, anong sinasabi nun? Ang sinasabi nun, may nakukuha kang value dito, 0. May nakukuha kang value dito, 1. Ito yung scenario that the limit does not exist. Kasi nakita lang natin kanina, exist, defined, undefined. Yun yung nakita natin case kanina. Defined, undefined algebraically, pero nag exist yung limit lagi. Ito na yung case na the limit does not exist. Okay? The limit does not exist kasi dito pumupunta sa 0, pumupunta sa 1. At bakit ganon? We'll explain it later on. Okay. So, by the way, question, dito ba does not exist yung limit natin? Dalawa kasi yung pinupuntahan. Ang next question ko, ang algebraic value ba, defined or undefined? Is it defined, undefined? H of 0 pala. H of 0. This is, asan siya equal? H of 0 is 1. Okay, defined siya. Okay, so this is a scenario na the limit does not exist, pero this time, yung algebraic value niya, defined. Paano itsura ng function na does not exist tsaka undefined? Pag does not exist, undefined, ito, hollow din ito. Tatanggalin mo tong equal sign dito. X greater than 0. Wala nang equal sign. So, hollow din to. So, ang h of 1 mo, undefined din. Tapos, limit mo does not exist. Okay? So, tanong, bakit ganon? Bakit does not exist? Okay. Remember, ano ang function? A function is a one-to-one or a many-to-one relation. So, ibig sabihin, kapag may f o h of 1 ka, ang value mo lang ay 1. Pag naging h of 1 is equal to 0, dalawa value mo, yung 1, pinapadala mo sa 1 at pinapadala mo sa 0. 1 to many na ito. 1 to many. Hindi ka na function. So, in some sense, minimimic din ng calculus yung algebraic behavior na dapat kapag function ka, either one-to-one or many-to-one ka lang. Ibig sabihin, isang value lang ang meron dapat. Okay, may tanong mo dito. Mag-e-exist ba ang yung limit kapag both intervals approaches the same value? Yes. Yun yung natin. Tama. Kaya unit interval lang. Pag pareho yon, kasi kumbaga ang nangyayari, nung algebra lang tayo, sa isang number lang tayo nakatingin. Pero this time, nakatingin na tayo sa infinite number of values. So you're looking at all the points here and all the points here. Hindi lang isang value, 0. So infinite. Kasi dapat yung mga numbers na yung mga y values natin dito at yung mga y values dito, mag-a-agree sila. If there's no agreement, the limit does not exist. Okay? Yun siya. So, like what I said, bakit kailangan nag-a-agree sila? It mimics the same idea sa algebra na dapat one-to-one or many-to-one ka. At ibig sabihin, isa lang dapat ang value ng function mo. So, kumbaga, limit, lalagyan mo na ng limit dito. Tapos mo to, x approaches 1. Dapat isang number lang ang pinupuntahan doon. So habang lumalapit sila, x approaches 0 pala, isang number lang yung nilalapitan nito. Okay? Another way to write nga pala limit, ito yung social way of writing limit. X approaches 0. If x approaches 0, then h of x approaches 1. Ito, pag gusto mo lang gawin siyang social, limit h of x as x approaches 1 is equal to 1. Yung arrow, pinalitan mo lang ng equal. Pero basically, arrow dito, ito yung dalawa niyang symbol, limit tsaka equal. Pero soon yun, masanay din kayo sa notation na yun. Pero for now, ito muna tayo, yung limit notation. Okay. So, like I said, hindi efficient na nag-rely tayo sa graph para malaman ang limits. Okay? So, ito yung computational way on how to identify limits. So, the first one, ito yung pinaka-importante. Ito yung una-una. If the limit exists, then it is unique. Isang number lang siya. Let's let's go first sa some philosophy sa mathematics. Sa mathematics, ang unang question nyo laging itatanong, if you're given a problem, any kind of problem sa math, does the answer exist? Does the solution exist? Yun yung unang tanong lagi. So halimbawa, 1 plus 1, you know the answer here is, oh well, yung usual lang, alam natin 2. But mathematicians, we actually don't care first yung actual answer. We ask first, 1 plus 1, does the answer exist? Yun muna. Does the answer exist? If the answer exists, doon mo na tatanungin, what is it? Okay? Pero actually, ano pa yun eh? Uh, higher tier pa yun yung what is it. Medyo mahirap kasi. For example, pag tinanong, what is pi to the pi? Mga ganyan. O di ba medyo, or ang pi to the power square root of 2 ba? Rational, ganyan. Mga ganong tanong. So, tanongin mo muna, does it exist? So, pag nag-exist siya, the next question, is it unique? Nag-iisa. Kung hindi unique, the next question, ito yung laging tinatanong ng mga mathematician. The first question, nag-exist ba? It exists, unique ba yung existence niya? Kung hindi unique, how many? Okay? How many yung susunod? Parang nagbibilang ka muna, marami ba yung sagot? Kung marami ang sagot, may marami pang mga tanong dito. Oo, marami pa yung mga, parang yung ginagawa natin sa journalism, yung who, what, where, when, why, how. May kumbaga may algorithm na or may checklist ng mga questions. Ito muna yung tatanungin natin before we go to the final question na what is the actual answer? Okay? Of course, we just take that, tinitake, ano lang natin, tinitake for granted lang talaga natin for usually yung tanong na yon ng what is the answer. Kasi nakaka-encounter na tayo ng mga madaling tanong lang. Pero kapag naka-encounter na tayo ng sobrang hirap na tanong na talaga, that's the first question that you ask yourself. Does the answer exist? And if it exists, the next question, is it unique? The next question, if it's not unique, how many? In yung hierarchy ng mga questions natin. So every time that we encounter new techniques or theorems sa calculus or sa math, ito ang unang laging lumalabas ng mga theorem. Nag-exist, pag nag-exist. So pag nag-exist yung sagot, unique yung sagot natin. Okay, so dahil unique siya, let's now replace this function by a specific function. Ano ang limit ng constant function? Ang limit ng constant function as x approaches a is the constant function. Now, bakit totoo yan? Totoo yan kasi ano ba, mag-a-appeal muna tayo sa graphing kasi yun ang alam natin na technique eh. Ano ba graph ng constant function? Kunyari, limit of 5. Ito yung function natin, f of x is equal to 5. So, ang graph natin, isa pa, ayan, ito yung y is equal to 5. Ito ang 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Bakit nawawala ang e? Negative 1, negative 2. So say we're approaching limit as x approaches 0 ng 5. So, pag tinignan mo itong unit interval na to ulit, negative 1 to 1, ano ang ano ang mga values nila? Ano ang f of negative 0.5? F of negative 0.5 is 5. F of positive 0.5, 5 din. So, you get a pattern na in this direction and in this direction, ito yung 0, yung y value nila, puro 5 lang. Okay? So, ang limit ng constant function, it's, is itself. Okay? Next, limit of x as x approaches a is just equal to a. O, bakit yan? Ito yung function natin this time. F of x is equal to x. Ano ba graph niyan ulit? Sa graph talaga tayo mag-rely muna para ma-prove ito. Ito yung graph niya. Ito yung y is equal to x. So, ito yung, kunyari, ang a natin dito ay 0 ulit. 0. Kunin mo ulit itong unit interval, negative 1 to 1. Y is equal to x. Ano ba ang f of 1? F of 1 is 1. F of negative 1 is negative 1. F of 0.5, 0.5. F of negative 0.5, negative 0.5. F of 0.001, lumalapit ka na sa 0 eh. Ito na yon, 0.000 as 1. F of negative 0.001, negative 0.01. So you get a pattern. As the x values gets closer and closer to 0, yung y value lumalapit din sa 0. So itong identity function natin, ang limit ng identity function as x approaches any number is a. It's the number itself. Kumbaga pinalitan mo na yung x ng a. Okay? Okay. O kaya pa o break muna tayo. Okay, continue. Okay. So that's the first part. Okay, constant function, identity function. Tingnan natin yung mga iba pang functions. Next, alam na, notice here, class, wala tayong sinabi kung yung A ay nasa domain natin. Wala tayong sinabing ganun, walang ganun sinabi na, what do you call this one? Assumption. Okay, next. Suppose the limit of f of x as x approaches A is L1 and limit of g of x as x approaches A is L2. Let C be a real number and N be a natural number. Okay. Ito yung mga limits natin kasama yung mga operations. Now, for now, iba-bastardize ko muna yung pag-interpret. Pero later on, sasabihin ko pagkatapos um, yung first interpretation muna. May second right interpretation talaga itong mga to. Okay. First interpretation, ito yung ginagamit na interpretation ng mga students pag first na na-encounter yung limits. Limit of the sum f of x plus or minus g of x as x approaches a is equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches a plus or minus limit of g of x as x approaches a. Okay? Kumbaga, nangyayari yung limit, parang dinidistribute mo lang, no? So, kuha mo L1 plus or minus L2. Okay. Next, limit of limit of f times g as x approaches a. Ganun ulit, parang nagdi-distribute yung limit sa factors. Limit of f multiplied by limit of g. L1 times L2. Dito naman, limit of c times f of x. C is a constant number. As x approaches a, this is equal to limit of c times limit of f of x. Pero nakita natin to, limit of c is just equal to c. So we get this part here. Next, limit ng quotient, quotient ng limits. So limit nito, limit ng numerator over limit ng denominator. Provided that the L2 or yung limit ng denominator is not zero. We'll study later on paano pag nag-zero ito. And finally, limit of f of x to the power n as x approaches a. Pareho lang ito sa f of x times f of x times f of x dot 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 f of x. So may n times tayo rito. May limit ka rito. So kumbaga, dinidistribute yung limit sa bawat factors natin. So you get limit of f of x times limit of f of x and so on. So meron kang limit of f of x to the n power. Parang ang nangyari, yung limit, ipinasok mo sa exponentiation. Pinasok mo sa loob ng power. Okay? Okay, yun yung first interpretation natin. Dinidistribute. Let's focus on this two here. Okay. Babasagin natin yung intuition ninyo na dinidistribute ang limit. Mukha siyang dinidistribute. Okay, mukha. Pero hindi talaga siya dinidistribute. Ano daw? Okay, yan. Ang sinasabi dito, class, talaga, ganito ang proper interpretation. Dito, ang sinasabi, ang limit ng constant as x approaches a. Remember, ang goal natin ngayon is to compute the limit or evaluate the limits efficiently. By efficiently, we mean by not appealing to the graph. Kasi hindi talaga efficient pag i-graph mo lagi. Ang sinasabi dito, if you want to compute this problem, ang sagot lang dyan, it's this polynomial or this constant number. Yun lang yung andon. Yun yung, um, how to put this way, yun yung computational value. Ito yung calculus problem. Ito yung computational solution. Calculus problem, computational solution. Okay? Computational solution to. Itong mga nandito sa right-hand side. Pero parang ang naging interpretation natin, if you want to have this computational, if you want to get this computational answer or solution, parang pina-plug in mo lang yung A sa X. Yun yung nakikita ninyong pattern. Which is partly right. Oo. Wala namang ano. Tama naman. Mukhang pina-plug in mo lang. Plug in mo lang yung A. Lalabas na yun. Okay. Yun yung first interpretation. Pero ang proper interpretation ay to compute this calculus problem, ito ang computational solution. So, adopting that point of view, let's look at this two here. Anong sinasabi? Ito yung calculus problem mo. Itong dalawang to yung calculus problem mo. Limit ng sum, limit ng product. Ang sinasabi, to solve this to solve this limit problem or this calculus problem, halimbawa meron ka ditong 3x minus 1 plus or minus 5x. Ang sinasabi, kung gusto mo daw isolve ang limit ni 3x minus 1 plus or minus 5x, it suffices to identify limit of 3x minus 1 plus or minus limit of 5x. Okay. Bakit it suffices? Anong sinasabi nun? Kasi ang assumption mo, the component limit exists. The component limit exists dahil nag exist yung smaller parts. Ito yung big part natin. If you want to answer the big part, you can rely on the small parts. Ito yung calculus problem. Ito yung computational solution natin. Pero yung computational solution natin, it still involves limit. Pero, ang kagandahan kasi nito, nasa hypothesis natin or nasa assumption natin na the limit exists in the first place. Kasi pag-aaralan natin later on, what if the limit does not exist? Kung hindi nag exist itong mga limits na ito, hindi mo pwede gamitin ito. Yun yung sinasabi. We will encounter this one. So na, what if may problem akong ganito, pero yung component or small parts pala niya does not exist? Hindi ko pwede gamitin itong technique na to na dinidistribute yung limit. Yun yung idea doon. Ang sinasabi nito, if the limit exists, you can distribute the limit or you can distribute the limits if the limit exists. Eh paano pag the limit does not exist? Hindi mo pwede gawin itong mga computations na to. Okay? Very abstract pa so far. Kung hindi na gets yung idea na yon, okay lang. You can hold on first to the fact na dinidistribute yung limits. Yun muna. You can hold on to that fact first. Later on, uulitin natin tong idea na to na hindi talaga nagdi-distribute. Okay? Ang sinasabi, to compute this, it's enough to look at the component parts. Okay? Yun yung proper interpretation. Okay? Pag hindi mo na nakuha yan, okay muna. For now, i-adapt muna natin yung idea na dinidistribute. Okay? Di muna tayo mag-hold on. Kasi mas madali siyang isipin sa ganung paraan. Okay? So, ayan na. Mas concrete na. Ito madali na to. Hindi to abstract talaga. May tangible na talaga yung makuha dito. Evaluate limit of 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 as x approaches -1. So, we're not going to appeal. Hindi natin nahanapin ang domain yan at hindi natin i-graph yan. Well, graphable? Kaya naman siya i-graph, pero hindi masyado i-graph. Gawin natin, gamitin yung mga limit theorems na alam natin. So, sand equal. Okay, bastardize muna natin. I-distribute natin yung limit sa bawat term, no? So, limit of 2x squared, limit of 3x, limit of 4. All of them as x approaches -1. Okay. So, for this part here, limit of 2x squared as x approaches -1 dahil meron tayong constant 2 pwede ilabas. And then, we get limit of x squared as x approaches -1. Dito rin, may constant 3, pwede ilabas, 3 times limit of x as x approaches -1 minus limit of the constant number 4 as x approaches -1. And then may exponential function tayo. Pwede mong ipasok yung limit sa loob ng exponent, limit of x as x approaches -1 squared plus 3 limit of x as x approaches -1 minus limit of 4 as x approaches -1. Pero ano ang limit ng x as x approaches -1? Papalitan mo na yung x by -1. So itong buong to, -1 lang yan, squared plus limit of x as x approaches -1. Again, x will just be replaced by -1. And ang limit ng 4 is just itself. And so we get this algebraic computation. 2 times 1 minus 3 minus 4, we get -5. So the limit of this one is -5. Okay, so parang ayun, madali lang pa na mag-limit problems, no? So in general, ito na yung next theorem. Kapag given ka ng polynomial function, to solve for the limit of the polynomial function as x approaches a, gamitin mo lang yung algebraic computation, f of t. Yun lang. So kapag polynomial ito, identify nyo muna, polynomial ba yan? Nasa limit ka? Basically, to solve this calculus problem, use this algebraic idea. Substitute lang. Mag-substitute ka lang. Okay? In fact, ito yung inimimik natin paulit-ulit, the polynomial function. Okay? Ito yung magiging theme natin hanggang Math 85, the polynomial functions. Sila kasi pwede mong isipin, well-behaved sila. Kasi yung calculus nag-equal sa algebra. So, kumbaga, ito yung maganda talaga siya. So, inimimik natin lagi itong technique na ito. Pag hindi gumana itong technique na ito, that's the time we look for other techniques. Okay? So, we appeal first to our algebraic side. Nagsasubstitute muna tayo. Ito yung pinakamadaling technique sa lahat. Okay. So, yan yung polynomial. We now go to the next batch, yung rational. So, ayun, binibuild up natin yung mga yung mga functions natin. So, let's now have rational function. Limit of 4x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 1 over x squared plus 2 as x approaches negative 2. So, gagawin natin, limit ng numerator over limit ng denominator. So, limit ng numerator over limit ng denominator. Dahil ang rational ay polynomial over polynomial, we can adopt this technique here. So, for this numerator, we get 4. Papalitan mo na yung x by negative 2. We get 4 times negative 2 cubed plus 3 times negative 2 squared minus negative 2 plus 1. We get 17. Sa baba naman, negative 2 squared plus 2 is equal to 6. So we get negative 17 over 6. So ano sinasabi? If f is a rational function and f of a is defined, kumbaga, nasa domain itong number na ito, then, ganun din, magkamukha ang calculus problem, limit of f of x as x approaches a, tsaka yung algebra, nagpa-plug in pala. Okay? Of course, tatanungin nyo, ano pa yung sense ng calculus kung ganyan din pala, plug in na ng plug it. Special case lang yan. Nagkataon na kapag sa polynomial and rational, nagtutugma yung calculus tsaka yung algebra. Hindi laging ganyan. Okay? Nagkataon, lalo na pag pumunta tayo ng mga piecewise function. Yung mga piecewise to, hindi na to usually nag-equal itong dalawang to. Mag-ano na sila, magda-diverge na sila ng mga values. Nagkataon lang na kumbaga, ang sinasabi, pag may polynomial ka tsaka rational, this is the safest or easiest trick na pinakamadaling gawin. Substitute. Okay? So that's the first trick na gusto kong ma-pick up nyo from this one here. First, pag naka-encounter kayo ng limit problem, the first computational trick or technique that you do is you just plug in the value. Pag hindi gumana, then ay hahanap ng bagong technique. Okay? So let's look at this one. Next, radical. Radical function, suppose the limit of f of x exists as x approaches a. Kasama ito nung ano, notice here, kasama ito nung mga properties dito. Ito papalitan natin ng nth root. Okay? Nth root, limit of f of x exists as x approaches a, and n is a natural number. Then, the limit of the nth root of f of x as x approaches a, pwede mo kasi isulat ito as f of x to the power 1 over n. So parang nangyayari, pwede mong ipasok yung limit din sa loob. Limit of f of x to the power 1 over n or n. Provided na kapag even number ito, halimbawa square, fourth power, dapat maliban sa nag-exist, dapat ano to, positive ito. Or positive number siya. Pwede siyang maging positive muna. Kasi pag zero ito, ibang usapan din. Pag-aaralan natin yon. Paano pag zero? Kasi dapat, di ba, alam natin, square root of zero, zero. Algebraically speaking. Pero, square root of zero is not necessarily zero. Calculus speaking. Ha? Nakakaloka. Ito yung mga nakakaloka. We will identify that soon. Okay? Kaya ito, walang equal sign na nakalagay dito. Pag-aaralan natin yun soon. Okay? Hindi pwede. Kasi pag negative ito, halimbawa, limit of f of x as x approaches a, sabihin natin negative 4. So, kung negative 4 ito, papalitan mo ito ng negative 4. Ngayon, square root of negative 4 is 2i. Pero dapat real number lang ang sagot natin. Okay? Real number. So, hindi pwedeng maging negative muna. Yun yung pag-aaralan sa calculus. Oo. Ayun. Thank you. Paano daw pag n is not even? Kunyari, cube root. Yung cube root yan, okay lang maging, ano to? Okay lang maging negative. Kunyari, kaya nakalagay dito when n is even. Medyo sloppy kasi yung pagkakaano dito na pagkakasabi. Ah, kumbaga, dagdag na ano dito, condition. Limit of f of x exists and limit of f of x is positive and n is even. Then, kahit tanggalin mo na to, totoo ito. Pero f exists, walang sinasabi kung f of limit of f of x is negative and n is odd. Wala, hindi na sinabi yon. So, ibig sabihin, kung negative ito, tapos ito cube to the power 3, halimbawa, limit of f of x is equal to negative 8, cube root of negative 8 is negative. Pwede yon pag negative. Pag negative, okay lang to kahit ano. Basta odd ito, odd, okay to kahit mapa-positive, mapa-negative, mapa-zero. Walang problema. Pero kung ito ay even, 2, 4, 6, dapat yung limit na nito sa loob, positive. Pag zero, ibang case, ibang ano to, ibang lesson pa to. Pag negative, out na yon yung negative. Pag positive, walang problema. Pag zero, iba pa yan. Okay? Iba pa natin yan. Babalikan din natin yan, yung zero case. Okay? So, halimbawa, limit of 3x minus 1 as x approaches 3. Ano yung alam nating technique? Plug it in. So, plug mo lang 3 times 3 minus 1 square root of 9 minus 1, we get square root of 8. Square root of 8, that would be square root of 4 times 2. So, lalabas lang yung 4, magiging 2 square root of. Okay? Ganun lang. Yung talaga yung yung go-to talaga, di ba? Plug in lang. Negative 1. Negative 1 plus 4 over negative 1 minus 2, cube root. We get here cube root of 4 minus 1, 3 over negative 3. So we get cube root of negative 1. Anong cube root of negative 1? Negative 1. Finally, fourth root of 3 minus 2x, limit na. So fourth root of 3 minus 2 times 7 halves. Cancel to, we get fourth root of 3 minus 7, fourth root of negative 4. So ito ay not real number. Okay? Hindi siya real number. So, dahil hindi real number, pwede niyong gawin yan, nailagay niyo lang not real number. Okay na yan for now. Kasi hindi ako laboratory niyo. Dahil hindi real number, automatic, the limit does not exist. Ay, ito pala yung shorthand natin sa does not exist. DN. Okay? Does not exist. Okay? So, pwedeng not real number or does not exist. Ay, mga no, baka sabihin ninyo, ganun ba yung pag does not exist, not real number ba? Hindi Nagkataon lang na hindi real number. Kasi baka sabihin nyo lahat ng makuha niyo dito na does not exist, not real number. Hindi Nagkataon lang. Okay? Pag not real number, nagmamath na ba kayo ngayon? Pag not real number, it implies does not exist. Pero pag does not exist, yung converse, hindi ibig sabihin. Hindi ibig sabihin ganun. Okay? Hindi yung converse mo, hindi siya magpapagod. Okay? O, kaya pa? O, pause muna. Okay, diretso. Walang nagko-comment. O, dali lang, di ba? Plug in lang tayo ng plug in. Oh, mapagod na kayo dito. Limit of 2x squared minus square root of 5x plus 1 over x cubed minus x plus 4 to the power 3 as x approaches 3. Okay. So, gagawin lang natin yung pinakamadaling technique. Kasi ito, o nga pala may magtatanong, kailangan ba talagang step by step yung limit ipapasok sa loob ng power 3, tapos ililimit yung numerator, ililimit yung denominator? Hindi na. Hindi nyo kailangan gawin yon. Ang first technique niyo kung alam na ninyo, i-plug in, edi plug in lang ninyo 2, ano ba yan? Ayun, sumulat. 2 times 3 squared minus square root of 5 times 3 plus 1 over 3 cube minus 3 plus 4, everything raised to the power 3. Yan na, parang shortcut na talaga siya. So, saan makukuha yun? Ano yung 2 times 3 squared? 2 times 3 squared, that would be 18 minus square root of 15 plus 1, 16 over sa baba, 27 minus 3 plus 4. So we get 18 minus 4 over 28. Ano ba ang 18 minus 4? That would be 14 over 28 to the power 3. So that is 1 half to the power 3. And so you obtain 1. O yun. Pwede nyo nang i-skip tong mga steps na yan. Kung ayaw nyo gawin yan, okay lang. Diretso na kayo sa plug-in. Tapos, eto na makukuha ninyo. Substitute. You get this one here. Finally, ito. It's still a correct solution. Okay? O, diba? O, yung pinakilala lang natin yung limits. Kasi, syempre, first na natin ma-encounter yung limits, matrabaho siya. Pero, matrabaho yung mathematical concept. Pero, pagdating na sa computational aspect, ano lang pala siya? Ano pala, substitute ka ng substitute. Parang algebra lang pala ginagawa natin. Na nilagyan mo ng limit symbol lang dito. Okay? Tapos, okay. So, ano yung nakita natin, di ba? Kanina, meron tayong function na to. G of x equal to 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 over x minus 1. Tapos nakita natin yung limit ni g of x as x approaches 1 is equal to 2. So, nung sinolve natin yung limit na ito, nag-rely tayo sa graph. Again, hindi efficient mag-graph. So, para na maka-arrive dito computationally. So, ito gagawin natin. Ano napansin natin dito? Ipa-plug in na itong g of x, papalitan lang natin ito, no? Palitan lang natin ito. So, meron ka ng limit of as x approaches 1 of this expression, 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 as x approaches 1. What do? We plug in 1. Yun yung pinakamadali. 3 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 1 over 1 minus 1. Ano makukuha natin sa numerator? 3 minus 4 plus 1 over 0. So we get 0 over 0. Okay. Baka sabihin niyo, oh, 0 over 0 does not exist na agad. No. This is the first type of what we call indeterminate. Um, yung mga pag 0 over 0, pag ito lang, walang limit na nakalagay, 0 over 0 mo kuha mo. Undefined na yon. Undefined algebraically. Okay. Pero sa mundo ng calculus, hindi ibig sabihin undefined siya. Ibig sabihin lang nito, hindi siya indeterminate ang term na ginagamit natin. Indeterminate doesn't mean does not exist. By the name itself, indeterminate, determine. You have to you still have to determine it. I-determine mo siya kung nag-exist or does not exist. Okay, yun ang indeterminate. And there are 7 indeterminates in calculus. The first one is 0 over 0. Okay, so pag naka-encounter kayo ng 0 over 0, it does not necessarily mean does not exist. It just means indeterminate siya. You have to determine it. Ano ibig sabihin? Well, all you have to do is 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. You can factor it as 3x minus 1 times x minus 1 over x minus 1. Okay. Sa algebra, pwede mo siya i-cancel. Pero lalagyan mo siya ng ano, no? Caveat na x is not equal to 1. Tama? Yung sinanay ko kayo ng mga first week. Bago nyo i-cancel, kailangan mo lagyan ng condition. Pero dahil nasa calculus sa tayo, at yung maganda sa calculus, pwede siya i-cancel. Pwede mo siya i-cancel kasi kahit hindi mo siya lagyan ito. Bakit kahit hindi mo siya lagyan? Kasi x approaches 1. Ano yung sinasabi natin dito, x approaches 1? Lumalapit ka lang sa 1 but not necessarily equal to 1. So, na-encapsulate na ng symbol na ito yung sinasabi dito na x is not equal to 1. Kung naisulat yung x is not equal to 1, okay lang. Pero redundant na siya kasi masasatisfy na ito, itong condition na ito, i-reflect na nitong part na to. Limit as x equals 1. So, if you're being pedantic or talagang nagiging very grammatical kayo sa pagsuot ng calculus, this part here, limit of 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 as x over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 is equal to this one here, which you just cancel out, and you obtain this limit of 3x minus 1 as x approaches 1. So, ano nangyari? This rational na convert mo to polynomial, plug in ka ulit. So, pag nag-plug in ka, 3 times 1 minus 1, you get 2. Okay, so, the limit exists. The answer is 2. It is 0 over 0, undefined, pero the limit exists. Yun yung nakita natin kanina, graphically. Undefined siya kasi may hollow point siya doon. Pero yung limit natin, nag-exist. Okay? So, how do we attack this kind of problem? Ito na yung next batch of rational. Kasi may dalawa tayong rational na gagawin. Ito yung first type of rational na na-encounter natin. Nag-plug in ka lang. Walang problema. Plug in, hinakuhang number, happy. At dito, hindi sila kontento. So, here is the first thing that we're going to do here. Suppose we have this problem at ang nakuha natin, indeterminate form of type 0 over 0. If that's the case, okay, if that's the case, undefined na siya algebraically. Now, the limit may or may not exist. To evaluate this, pag 0 over 0, may dalawang techniques tayong pwedeng i-utilize. The first technique is factoring the numerator and the denominator para may ma-cancel out. That's the first technique. Pag hindi gumana yung technique na yon, mag-rationalize tayo. Pag minsan, pinaghahalo rin itong dalawang techniques na to. And we will see kung paano gamitin itong dalawang techniques na ito kapag meron tayong 0 over 0. Okay, so let's now focus sa rational functions. So suppose you have your limit of x squared plus 2x plus 1 over x plus 1 as x approaches negative 1. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do, pag may limit problem ka lagi, class, ano ang step 1? Step 1, ito yung magiging favorite ninyo. Plug in. It's always substitute or plug in. Huwag yung siya kalabanin. Yun yung pinakamadaling technique. Plug in. So you get 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 1 over, negative 1 pala, sorry. Negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 plus 1 over negative 1 plus 1. So we obtain 1 minus 2 plus 1 over 0. So we get 0 plus 0. Ayun yan. Okay, plug in. So nakuha mo ay indeterminate. So you have to determine kung nag-exist yung limit. So what's the next step? Step 1, fail. So we can now go to step 2. Step 2, it's either factorization or rationalization. Ang pinakamadaling gamitin dito ay factorization. So factorization, ang x squared plus 2x plus 1, we can factor it as x plus 1 times x plus 1 over x plus 1. So maka-cancel. So maka-cancel yun, makukuha mo to. Limit of x plus 1 as x approaches negative 1. So what's the beauty of this? So step 1, plug to the rational function. Step 2, factor. Step 3, so after mo factor, may ginawa kang magic trick at yung magic mo, plug in to ulit. Yun lang yun, papalik-balik yung plug in na yan. Plug in to the polynomial function na. Okay? So pag hindi pa rin gumana, magic trick na naman. Pag gumana yung magic trick, plug in na naman. So parang, paano lang yan? Papalpala siya. Plug, magic, plug, magic, plug, magic. Okay? So dito, x plus 1, you plug in the number. Negative 1 plus 1, you now get 0. So the limit of this one is 0. Okay? Undefined siya, algebraically, undefined to. Wala talaga siya. Kasi ano ba domain natin? Domain of the function is set of all real except -1. Okay? And in fact, yung trick class, para malaman ninyo kung sino yung ifa-factor ninyo or ifa-cancel ninyo. Tignan niyo itong nasa baba. Di ba x approaches -1? So parang pwedeng isipin, ilipat mo lang sa kabila yung -1. I-transpose mo. X plus 1 approaches 0. Ito yung factor na gusto mong tanggalin. X plus 1. Yun yun na. X plus 1. Yun yung gusto mong ma-factor out sa numerator at sa denominator. Para may idea kayo kung ano yung ipa-factor out ninyo. X plus 1. Look at this part. Okay? So let's look at this next example. Okay. May recall. Ito yung mga technique na gagamitin from algebra. Recall. Kasi factorization yung technique na gagawin natin, no? So pag may a squared minus b squared ka, ano ang factorization itong a squared minus b squared? A minus b times a plus b. How about a cube minus b cube? That would be a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. A cube plus b cube, a plus b multiplied by a squared minus ab plus b squared. Okay. Dito, a squared minus b squared, madali ito. Okay, a minus b times a plus b. Itong a cube minus b cube, you have to remember, dito minus a minus b, and then square, ito 1, 1, square. Tapos walang 2 rito, class, ha? Walang 2. Hindi yan perfect square. So, a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. Minus, plus, plus. So, kung minus ito, ang minus ito. Then plus, plus. Pag a cube plus b cube, a plus b, i-adapt mo to as a squared, paraw lang siya, a squared, ab, b squared, plus, minus, plus. Dito, plus, plus, plus. Pag minus, pag plus, plus, minus, plus. So look at the pattern. Ito yung wala tayong a squared plus b squared, hindi to factorable. Halimbawa, x squared plus 1. Hindi to factorable as x plus 1 times x plus 1. Hindi. Kasi itong part na to ay x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay? Wala tayong a squared plus b squared. Ang meron tayong importante, a squared minus b squared, a cube minus b cube, a cube plus b cube. So ito yung mga factorization techniques that are easy to remember. So bakit natin na-recall ito? So let's have here, limit of x cubed plus 8 over x squared minus 4. What is the first thing to do? Plug it in. Negative 2 cubed plus 8 over negative 2 squared minus 4. So we get negative 8 plus 8 over 4 minus 4. So we get 0 over 0. 0 over 0 siya. So, hindi pwede. Indeterminate siya. So, kailangan may ma-cancel tayong factor sa numerator and denominator. At sino yung factor na gusto natin mawala? Tingnan nyo to. X approaches negative 2. Lipat mo lang sa kabila. X plus 2 approaches 0. So, x plus 2 ang gusto mo mawala. So, yun ang hint. X plus 2. So, ano factorization ng x cubed plus 8? X cubed plus 8, it falls under this category here, x cubed plus 2 cubed. So you get x plus 2, x squared minus 2x plus 4. Tapos yung x squared minus 4, ito yon, x squared minus 4, x minus 2 times x plus 2. At sino yung gusto mo i-cancel? From here, x approaches negative 2, gusto mo i-cancel si x plus 2. Okay, so makakancel ito. So matitira, x squared minus 2x plus 4 over x minus 2. yung polynomial, yung rational mo, na-reduce mo to another rational. Okay lang yan. So, the idea here is limit problem, plug in, factor, another limit problem. So, plug in to ulit. Plug in ka, you get here negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2 plus 4 over negative 2 minus 2. So, what do we get sa numerator? 4 plus 4 over negative 4. So we get 4, 8, 12. 12 over negative 4. We get negative 3. So that's the answer. Negative. Okay naman, buhay pa. Okay naman, di ba? Parang yun lang pala siya. So, titingnan niyo lagi kung ano uri siya ng function, kung polynomial or rational. Okay? Polynomial or rational. Pag polynomial, madali lang, no? Ito na yung mga rational. Different cases ng rational. Kaya, we'll focus on sa rational. Sa rational, hope and pray ka talaga na hindi ka 0/0. Pag nakuha mo kunyari 17/6, happy na tayo. Pero pag nakuha mo 17/0, ibang lesson pa yan. Kaya 17/0. For now, ang labanan muna yung mga 17/6 versus 0/0. Eh, paano pag 0/6? Ano sagot dito, class? Zero. Okay? 0/6 is zero. Zero divided by 6 ay zero. Okay? Walang problema yan. Zero na talaga yan. Ang 0/0, problematic. Okay? Ang pag nagbaliktad pa, 17/0, problematic din yan. Sa calculus, problematic siya. Okay. Now, let's look at this one. Limit of x squared minus 16 over 2 minus squared of x as x approaches 4. So, pag nag-plug in ka, 4 squared minus 16 over, 4 squared, tama, over 2 minus square root of 4. So we get 16 minus 16 over 2 minus 2. So we get 0/0. That's 0/0 na yan, no? Okay, indeterminate. So, sino yung gusto mo walang factor? Ang gusto mo walang factor ay x approaches 4, so that would be x minus 4. X minus 4 ang gusto mo wala. So, yung numerator mo, pwede mo siya i-factor as x minus 4 times x plus 4. O ready na makancel ito na matitira kang x plus 4. Kasi yung baba mo, 2 minus square root of x, ano factorization yan? Well, natin alam, di ba? So, gagamit tayong ibang trick. Now, dito na mapasok yung trick ng rationalization. Kapag may mga square root ka talaga na involved, ito na yung, kumbaga, ito yung go-to technique mo. So, ano yung isasabi ng rationalization? 2 minus square root of x to. So, this time, kanina, factoring, ito yung, ito yung polynomial natin. It corresponds to this left-hand side. I-decompose mo into the right-hand side. This time, yung 2 minus square root of x, it now corresponds to one of the factors. Gusto lumabas yung nasa left-hand side. So, ito na siya. 2 minus square root of x. Sino yung dapat i-multiply mo sa kanya para ang goal mo kasi mawala yung square root of x. Parang ang goal mo, mas square to minus square root of x, mas square din yun. So, pag na-square yun, makukuha mo 4 minus x. So, sino ang i-multiply mo? It would be 2 plus square root of x. So, magma-multiply tayo ng 2 plus square root of x sa denominator. But by doing so, kasi nag-multiply ka, dapat mag-multiply ka rin sa numerator. That way, makakancel mo yan. Bakit natin ka? Kasi etong equal to 1 lang yan. Okay? So, pag nag-multiply ka ng 1, ito, 1, walang problema. It's just 1. Multiplying any function by 1, you get the original function. So with that in mind, i-combine mo itong dalawang to, 2 minus square root of x times 2 plus square root of x, that would be 4 minus x. Hindi x minus 4 agad 2 times, pwede kayo mag FOIL method, bahala kayo. Or pwede nyo gamitin ito. Okay, 2 minus square root of x times 2 plus square root of x. 2 squared minus square root of x squared. That'd be 4 minus x. So 4 minus x. Tapos, ito, ready na to. Di ba? Nasulat natin to kanina, x minus 4 times x is 4. Sino yung gusto mo i-cancel out? Si x minus 4. So, to do that, no x minus 4 ka sa numerator, etong nasa denominator, pwede mo siya i-express as negative of x minus 4. Parenthesis class, ha? May parenthesis tayo. Huwag niyong kakalimutan niya. Kasi na, iba nakakalimutan negative x minus 4 na. May parenthesis. Then, cancel it out. So, pag kinancel out niyo yun, matitira yung negative sa labas na pwede mong ilipat sa numerator. Negative of x plus 4 times 2 plus square root of x as x approaches 4. So, you started with this one, nag-rationalize ka, you arrive at this one. What do we do next? We plug it in. Negative 4 plus 4 times 2 plus square root of 4, we get negative 0 times 2 plus square root of 4i. Well, actually, doesn't matter. 2 plus 2, ito ay 4. 0 times 4, ay 8 pala to. Bobo. 4 plus 4, 0. 4 plus 4 ay 8. 8 times 2, 2 plus 2, 4. 8 times 4, 32. May negative sa labas, negative 32. Sorry, 4 plus 4 ay 0. Ingat kayo plus ha. 4 plus 4 ay 8. Okay. Oh, and masanay kayo mag-rationalize yung mga ganyan. I think it is a cubic yata. Oo, sabi nga nga. Cubic 2. Okay. Oh, x approaches 8. Takutan na tayo dito. Cube root of 8 minus 2. That would be 2 minus 2. 0. Sa baba naman, 8 squared minus 7 times 8 minus 8. That would be 64 minus 56 minus 8. 0. Okay? May note. Ano pala ulit ang difference ng conjugate at rationalize? Ah, in in our sa Math 83, pareho lang siya. Conjugation and rationalization. Ah, ganito. Um, etong operation na to, etong ginagawang method, ito yon. Okay. Mga parts of rationality. Sige. Ito, rationalization ang tawag dito. We rationalize. The process of conjugating is rationalization. Ang weird ng mga term na yun, no? Ang ang rationalization ng 2 minus square root of x is you multiply it by 2 plus square root of x. Now, ano ang tawag natin sa 2 plus square root of x? That is the conjugate of 2 minus square root of x. And 2 minus square root of x is the conjugate of 2 plus square root of x. So ano lang yan? Dito, balikan natin. A minus B is the conjugate of A plus B. A plus B is the conjugate of A minus B. Basically, parang twin nila. Twin nila yon. The process of conjugating, pwede mo sabihin, the process of conjugating is rationalization. Weird, no? Parang, in some sense, pareho lang siya. Pero kasi pag nagpunta tayo sa world ng complex numbers, medyo mag-iiba na siya. Sa real numbers, okay pa. Parang tutugma lang sila. Rationalization, conjugation, synonymous lang sila. But when we go to complex numbers na, iba na yung ibig sabihin nila. Pero for now, pareho lang yon. You conjugate, you rationalize. Kaya naisuot mo sa exam mo, by conjugating the denominator, okay lang. Doesn't matter. By rationalizing the numerator or rationalizing the denominator, okay lang din. Doesn't matter. The important thing here is nagawa mo tong process na ito. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Kung ano man yung label mo sa kanila, doesn't matter. Okay? So that's a good at nakiklear yung yung mga concept from high school. Pero don't worry, pag naging advanced pa yung mga math natin, makikita na natin yung mga difference ng mga terminologies na ito. Okay? Okay, so let's look at this one here. So nag-plug in tayo, 0 over 0, sadly. So, ano ang gawin natin? Well, sino yung ready tayong i-factor out? Makikita mo, x minus 8 approaches 0. X minus 8 yung gusto mong maglaho. Okay? Gusto mong mawala ito, x minus 8. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here? Gusto mo mawala yung x minus 8 dito sa numerator din. Eh, wala kang ano dyan eh. Paano mo gagawin yan? So, i-rationalize mo siya or yung term natin, i-conjugate mo siya. Gusto mong maging ano to, no? Yung cube root of x, gusto mong ma-convert siya into x. But by doing so, parang kinocube mo yan, no? Pero, para makuha mo tong final, ano na to, and final step, ito ay cube nito, syempre, i-cube mo rin yon para makuha mo to, x minus 8. Sino yung ipang ma-multiply natin? So, nandito tayo sa scenario na to. Ito yung x cube minus 8. Ito yung cube root of x minus 2. So, sino yung pang-rationalize natin o yung pang-conjugate ninyo or pang-multiply ninyo? Halos pare-pareho lang ito. So, that would be cube root of x squared plus yung a natin ay cube root of x, ang b natin ay 2. Notice, hindi negative 2 ha, 2 lang, plus 2 squared. Okay? So, we get here cube root of x squared, that will be x to the power 2 thirds plus 2 to the power x to the power 1 third plus 4. Okay? So, yun yung makukuha natin doon. Ito yon. But it does, kung ano yung i-multiply mo sa numerator, yun yung i-multiply mo sa denominator para ma-preserve yung equality natin. O nga pala class, sa exam, yung mga students, limit na ng limit, tinatamad na isulat yung equal sign. Maglagay kayo ng equal sign, equal lahat yan. So, yung numerator mo, simplify mo. So you get here, alam mo na automatic to x minus 8. Pwede ka mag-foil dyan, bahala ka. Kung gusto mo pang pag-wear ng sarili mo, mag-foil ka, makukuha mo lang talaga dyan x minus 8. Tapos yung baba, ito. Ano napansin niyo dito, class? X squared minus 16, di ba finactor mo to? Finactor mo yung x squared minus 16 as x minus 4 times x plus 4 multiplied by 2 plus minus square root of x. Sa calculus, huwag kayong sa calculus, ang pagsasamahin mo yung nira-rationalize mo. For the rest, huwag ka nang matempt na i-simplify yan. Karamihan sa calculus, gusto mo naka-decompose. Yun talagang goal mo, dinidecompose siya. Ang pinagsasama lang yung nira-rationalize. So dito, wag mo na itong nasa baba, wag mo nang i-simplify yan. Kasi ito lang naman yung kailangan mo i-simplify para makuha si x minus 8. For the rest, leave it as it is. Kopyahin mo lang talaga siya. So, eto, gusto mo talaga siyang ma-decompose. Kasi ang balak mo nga, mawala si x. Yun yung gusto mo, may mawala to, di ba? Eh, pag sinimplify mo pa yan, edi lalo kung nagkagulo-gulo yung expression mo. Ang goal mo nga, mawala yon. So, you now have an x minus 8 in the numerator, x minus 8 in the denominator. Cancel yon. O, hindi zero yan class ha. Pag kinancel ha, 1 ang matitira. 1 over x plus 1 cube root of x squared plus 2 cube root of x plus 4. And so what do we do next? This is now reduced to this part here. I-plug into na lang 8. So we get 1 over 8 plus 1, parenthesis class ha, multiplied by cube root of 8. Unahin naman natin to. Ito ay pareho lang naman sa cube root of x squared. Okay? Pareho lang yan. So cube root of 8 squared, mas dali kasi minus 2 cube root of 8 plus 4. For this part here, 8 plus 1, you get 9. Cube root of 8 squared, you get here 2 squared, which is 4. Cube root of 8 times 2, that would be 2 times 2, 4 plus 4. So we get here, 9, for maniwala lang tayo, 1 over 100. Nakapagod mag 4 plus 4 plus 4, 9 times 12. Maniwala tayo 100. Okay? O, hopefully na-gets niyo yung pattern kapag rational function ang meron tayo. Medyo matrabaho pag rational function. Tsaka 0/0 yung nakukuha natin. Okay? And, so, ito, exercise. Ano ba yung nakuha natin dito? O, ganito lang siya. So, may exercise tayo dito. Yung exercise, meron ditong solution. So, you can answer this. Okay? So, for example, uh, ano ba to? X cubed minus 2x squared. Find limit of f of x as x approaches negative 1. Given f of x is equal to x cubed minus 3x squared. Okay. Ang katakot-takot pala siya, no? So, x cubed minus 3x. Itong first part na ito, class, ito pala yung may tanong kung yung mga ibang exercise natin may sagot. Yung ibang may sagot. So for this one here, pag nag-plug in kayo, 3 times 4 minus 12 over 3 times 2 times 4 plus 1. So makukuha nyo 0/0. So what do we do here? We rationalize it. So we rationalize the denominator. Kasi ang gusto mong mawala, si x minus 4. So gusto mong mawala si x minus 4, wala ka pang nakikita x minus 4 sa numerator, no? Pero makukuha mo 3 times x minus 4. Now, we rationalize this. Ano pang rationalize? 3 plus squared of 2x plus 1 all over 3 plus squared of 2x plus 1. So ito, plus. O nga pala, class, hindi lang denominator ang i-rationalize, ha? Ang numerator pwede rin i-rationalize. Rationalizing the numerator. Okay? So, ayun. Ang goal mo, wala si x minus 4. So this, 3 squared, 9. Then square nito, 2x plus 1. Parenthesis class. Kasi pag wala yung parenthesis mo, po lang 9 minus 2x plus 1. You get there, negative 2x plus 10. Pa-factor out yung negative 2 times x minus 5. Hindi nyo matatanggal yung x minus 4. Magkakagulo-gulo yung solution. Okay, so I-carry out na yung solution. Ito yung solution natin. So you can answer this. Ito yung solution. Okay? Okay, ayan. Ito yung another rationalization. Now the last one, hindi to pinakita kanina. Very often, pero baka lumabas ito sa laboratory ninyo, what if uh, hindi gumana ang rationalization, pero mukhang gagana ang factorization, pero parang wala kang idea kung paano mag-factor. So, you have your limit of x cubed minus 3x minus 2 over x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1. If you plug in negative 1, ano makukuha? Siyempre, sa exam class, ito talaga makukuha natin lagi 0/0. Hindi namin ibibigyan ng hindi 0/0. So, sino yung gusto mo i-factor dito? Dito, ang gusto mo i-factor ay si x plus 1. Paano lalabas x plus 1? Paano lalabas si x plus 1 dito at paano lalabas si x plus 1 dito? Di ba, Maday? For this one here, si x plus 1 kasi yung gusto mo mawawala, di ba? So, si x plus 1 yung gusto mo maging factor niyan, x plus 1 times some factor here. Ano gawin natin? We appeal to our senses. We appeal to our knowledge from high school, long division muna. So, sulat na, sarap alaala yung long division, no? X cube minus 0x squared or plus 0x squared. Bahala kayo, 0. Wala kasi kailangan i-fill in yun of missing polynomial x squared minus 3x minus 2. And then divide by x plus 1. X cubed divided by x squared. X squared times x cubed. X squared times 1, positive x squared. And then parenthesis, kasi magsasubtract tayo. Okay? May tanong muna rito. Pwede rin mag-synthetic division. Kung gusto mag-synthetic division, okay lang din. Walang pipigil. Synthetic division, pwede rin. Okay? Kung naalala ang synthetic division, long division, kahit ano. Okay? Okay. So x cubed minus x cubed cancel. Negative 0x squared or plus 0x squared minus x squared, negative x squared. Baba yung 3x, negative 3x minus 2. Then continue. Negative x squared divided by x, negative x. Negative x times x, negative x squared. Negative x times 1, negative x. Parenthesis, negative. So minus negative x squared minus negative x squared, 0. Negative 3x minus negative x, negative 2x minus 2. Bababa lang yung minus 2. And finally, negative 2x divided by x. We get there, negative 2. Ayun, yun yung sulat. Oo nga, nagulat ako dun. Oo. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x, minus 2 times 1, negative 2. Negative 2x minus negative 2x, 0. Negative 2 minus negative 2, 0. So, dapat makuha mo yung final answer, 0 talaga dapat. Kasi factor din. So, ano yung factor natin? X cubed minus 3x minus 2, that is none other than x plus 1 times x squared minus x minus 2. Okay? Then you do the same thing for x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1. Long division ka rin with x plus 1. O, di ba? Katakot-takot yan. Pero there's another technique here. Yung long division, at what else? Synthetic division, or ayan pala, ayan, ayan pala, may synthetic division method pala. Ayan. So pag synthetic division class, ito pala na yun. Tinompleto rin pala natin. Kokopyahin nyo lang yung mga, what do you call this one? Coefficients. 1, o huwag kakalimutan yung 0, 0, negative 3, negative 2. Ito yung para sa x cubed, ito yung para sa x squared, ito yung para sa x, ito yung para sa constant. And then negative 1. Kanina dito x plus 1. Pero kasi, ang nagko-correspond na ano ba ang root or 0 ng x plus 1? Ang root niya ay negative 1. So this part here, negative 1. Hindi positive 1. Negative 1. Baba yung 1, 1 times negative 1, negative 1. For this time, addition to. 0 plus negative 1, negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. Addition, negative 3 plus 2, negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 1, positive 2. Negative 2 plus 2, 0. So ano yung ano natin? Polynomial. 0 dahil 0 yung remainder natin. It would be x plus 1. Tapos dito, x cube ito, bababa yung power. X squared, 1x squared, minus 1x, minus 2. So pareho yung nakuha mo. Okay, long division or synthetic division. Finally, dito, pwede kang mag-long division or synthetic division din. Another way to attack this na hindi gumagamit ng long division at synthetic division would be factoring by grouping. I-group mo itong x cubed at x squared, tapos itong x, negative x plus 1 together. Factor out natin yung negative, negative x minus 1. So itong part na to negative x minus 1. Dito pwede mo i-factor itong x squared times x minus 1 minus x minus 1. May common factor ka ngayon x minus 1. So, parang x squared a minus a. So, we get a times x squared minus 1. Ito yun. And then, ano yung a natin? A is x minus 1. So, this part here, x squared minus 1 is x minus 1 times x plus 1. So, yung denominator mo, ito na yun. Ito yung denominator mo, ito yung numerator mo. And your favorite part, makancel yung x plus 1. So, matitira negative. Ito na yung matitira, x squared minus x minus 2 over x minus 1 times x minus 1. And then hope and pray, magpa-plug in ka na hindi ka na mag-0 over 0. Pag nag-plug in ka, you finally get 0 over 4. O hindi yan 0, hindi yan ano class, does not exist ha. 0 over 4 is 0. Okay, o ayan, di happy na tayo. Okay? O, question, o time na. At least, di ba, na-cover natin lahat ng ng example, pati exercises dito. Nagbibigay po ba ng indeterminate pa rin kahit po na-cancel na Yes, it can be the case mm, usually kasi, pag na-cancel na, itong technique na ginagawa natin, usually, pag na-cancel na, wala nang indeterminate. Pero later on, meron tayong technique na gagawin na, um, ano ba to? Na may method na gagawin na nag nag indeterminate na, then gumamit ang method, hindi cancellation or factoring method ang gagamitin natin. Have you heard of yung method ng L'Hopital's rule? Alam ko iba sa inyo, alam na yata yung L'Hopital's rule. Sa exam, bawal gumamit muna. No? Ang pwede nyo gamitin yan sa scratch paper lang ninyo, okay? Pero hindi nyo pwede gamitin yun as a valid solution sa long exam number one. Kasi pang long exam number two pa lang yon. So, yun yung pangatlong method na ituturo natin. So, we now know factorization, rationalization. Yun yung pangatlong technique, L'Hopital's rule. Yung L'Hopital's rule, when we use that soon, nag-L'Hopital's rule ka, indeterminate pa rin ang nakuha. So, ibig sabihin, uh, mag gagamit ka na naman ng another L'Hopital's rule. Parang non-stop hanggang mawala ng mawala yung common factor natin. Pero usually kapag etong technique ang ginagamit natin na to, yung basic lang, factorization and rationalization, at the first parts pa lang, nakakancel na agad yung nagpapa 0/0. Nakakancel na agad yun. Okay? So, for now, hindi siya magiging indeterminate ulit. Kasi na-cancel na natin yung problemang yon. Pero later on, pagdating natin sa second part ng Math 83, makakita tayo ng mga cases na indeterminate na naman yung nakuha nating problema. So parang, ano yung solution ba? Okay? Ayan, masyadong ang daldal ng ating ano. Oh, may the other clarification pa. May clarification dito. Oh, wait lang. Teka lang, may expression dito. Sige, mamaya ako sagutin yung paano pag may special characters like pi or e, needed na i-simplify yung final answer or kahit ganun na. Kunyari, pi x to the power 4 plus e squared x plus 3 limit as x approaches negative 2. Okay na to. Pi negative 2 to the negative square, negative 2 to the power plus 4 plus e squared negative 4 plus 3. Okay na to. Ano to? 16 pi minus 4e squared plus 3. Okay na yan. Final answer na yan. Yun na yung final answer nito. You don't need to simplify that. What would be the final answer? Okay? Hindi na kailangan isim. Pag may mga ganun, may mga pi, you will encounter that soon. Kunyari mga square root of 2 over 4, mga ganyan. Leave it as it is. Kung ano yung sagot siya. Tempted pa ka. Wait, class, ako lang gagawa nito. Square root of 2 over 4. Na-cancel. Tapos maging square root of 1 over 2. Just go 1. Loka. May mga ganyan nakakaloka yung mga ano. Walang gagawa niyan, class, ha? Hindi yan pareho sa square root of 1 over 2, okay? Tama na nga yung sagot din yun. Kamali pa ng simplification. Okay. May question pa before hindi mo na dismiss. May sabihin na ako announcement. Okay naman?